name's Christina and you're watching Proud Bookline. And today I'm doing 3 things to talk about. We need more representation of sexes. This video is totally inspired by Golden Boy, which is a book about a main character that's intersex that's named Max. And I'm sorry if I'm messy and a bit tired, but I have actually had summer work all day and it was Pride. So, happy Pride! Yes, I'm aware that Sweden is really weird. Yes, this was my second Pride this year. Yes, I'm aware that Pride month is in June and that the Prides I went to in Sweden were in May and August. But Pride, the LGBTQIAP+ community, there's an I in that. Intersex people, if they want to, can label themselves queer. They're part of the queer community. But a lot of people aren't even aware that intersex is something that you can be. I personally wasn't aware of this term when I was 10 years old, and a lot of people believe that there are very few people that are intersex. Define few when you say these things, because estimates, or at least the latest statistics, show that about 1.7% are intersex. Intersex meaning that their biological sexes, so this is distinct from their gender identifications, aren't able to fit into society's mold. That's very binary. So in Golden Boy, Max is a boy. He identifies as a boy. Then his body does not look nor act or share the same features as boys' bodies typically do. However, there's a lot of diversity within bodies if you were not aware of this fact. All bodies are different, all humans are different, and it's not that big of a deal. A lot of people might hear that number and not think that that's a lot of people, but about 1.7%, that's the same rate that people are redhead at. So, if you met a redhead, like me, I'm a natural redhead, then you met an intersex person. And I think we need to be aware of that. The 3 things to talk about. We need more biological sex representation. So, let's start with the 3 sexes then. Of course, as I said before, all bodies are different and it's pretty much a spectrum and there's nothing wrong or right when it comes to bodies. It's just bodies. But let's start with female. No matter how you identify, you can have a uterus and you can be a man, you can be non-binary, you can be agender, you can be a demi-boy or a demi-girl. You don't become any less of a man because you have a uterus. You aren't less of a woman just because you don't menstruate. It's really just your biological body and it does not prove how you identify and what your gender is. Your gender is separate from your biological body. Female bodies, when we see them in books, we need to hear about the struggles that comes with having a female biological body, meaning uterus, meaning menstruation, meaning cramps, meaning hormones, meaning getting breast, carrying a bra if you're comfortable with that or not. It's about these things that we need to hear, and we don't only need to hear them from straight white girls. We need to hear them from all people with female biological bodies, meaning we need to see how a female body, the female sex, the biological sex, affects males, the people that identify as males, because they're not less of males just because they have periods. But they still have periods, and we need to see this in literature. We need to see female body function, because I read a lot of books. The majority have been cis girls. I don't really recall a lot of books mentioning PMS, pain, boobs, anything about our actual bodies and what comes with having a female body. I think we need to see that. I also think we need to see male bodies and how those manifest. Now, I don't have a male body, so I can't really tell you about a lot of things that happens. But I mean, pubic hair. I have never seen that mentioned, I think. Maybe twice? I'm not sure. But pubic hair happens to all of us. Male bodies, like the male biological sex, they have penises, they have balls, they have male hormones. And they usually get a lot of hair, like not only pubic hair, but beard, hair on their chests and backs and just overall hair. And I've never seen this challenged or met even incorporated in a YA story. Not even in literature. We don't talk/write about these things, and these things happen. These happen to the women that have male bodies too. We have to talk about and be aware of all the things that might be present in somebody's life. For example, there's binding of boobs, but there's also people that are transitioning that might be taking hormones that are messing up with their body's hormones. And there's just so many things. And then there's intersex people. Max is the only intersex main character that I've ever read about. And it's so important to show that intersex people exist. I mean, I read countless books with redhead main characters, or at least where the side characters have red hair. And the same amount of population that have red hair are intersex. Not meaning that those are related, but meaning if we can have redhead characters in books, we have to incorporate intersex people in books. Because intersex people exist, bodies exist, and our functions that comes with whatever body you're born with, they exist. I really want to see more diversity when it comes to biological sexes and when it comes to their identities and genders, because just because you have a female body does not mean that you're a female. Just because you have a male body that fits into the binary does not mean that you're a male. There's so many orientations, and there's so many sexualities, and there's so many genders, and if we can't read about them, if we can't talk about them, we won't know that we are okay, not fitting into the binary, not fitting in what you're assigned, not fitting in the heteronormative society that we live in today. That's okay. There's a lot of us that don't fit into today's society. And I think a lot of young readers, hell, all the readers, need to know that they are not alone. Just have real characters with real struggles. Maybe they aren't struggling with aligning their gender and their biological body. Some people are. Show us all of those people, not only the ones that aren't struggling with this. Because we are all different, and we have seen the same narrative so many times. And even within the same narrative, there's something shameful about the biological sex and about the body. But there really is no shame in having a body that functions. There's no shame in having a body that does not fit the binary. There's no shame in being the one that you are, in being you, in expressing you, and in finding yourself. Because a lot of us aren't sure who we are, what we are. And if there's no books that show real people, real struggles, and not only one type of struggles, but all struggles, people won't be able to find themselves. And I read books not only to find myself, but to find others, to be able to relate to others and to learn. And most of all, I read books because I think that we really need to get to know each other and ourselves better. And I think you do that when you read from somebody else's perspective. But yeah, please know that having a biological body, a biological sex that does not fit with your gender, that's okay. Having one that do fit, that's also okay. And all things are okay to be, as long as you are you and as long as you're happy. Please know that, and please know that you are so very loved and you are so very valid just the way you are. I think that was everything. Do you have any opinions on this? Please let me know down below. I would love to chat about this. I'm really insecure about this video, but I hope that you like it, and I hope that we can have some great discussions about this, because I think there's a weird stigma around showing bodies and what bodies do and what happens in puberty, not only when it comes to the actual sex and kissing and touching and feelings, but when it comes to how our bodies react and how our bodies change and grow and how all bodies are different and how intersex people exist and their experience are absolutely valid and important to share because they exist, just like redheads exist, just like you exist. And I'm very, very happy that you exist. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a lovely day / night / whatever part it is for you. Bye!